What's up? You're off in God's country with Reid
and Dan Isbell,
also known as the Brothers Hunt, where we take a weekly drive to the intersection of country music and the great outdoors. Two things that go together like Boys to Men and I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby back, baby. Everybody thinks they wrote this. Baby back ribs, barbecue sauce.
Or Garth Brooks and a lapel mic, brought to you by MeatEater.
Kenneth Lee Brice on the pod today, out in God's country with us. Tells some great stories. Talks about a deer from last year named Baby Brow that his baby bro
shot the brow.
It's great. It's a great story. I'm not gonna give it away. Talks about, he comes from a background of church and really learned how to cut his chops doing that thing and learn how to sing harmonies and gets the soul and emotion from growing up in the church like he did.
Yeah, and you can tell in his Gravorite, the boy got some gravy on him.
Does a killer Gravorite. You want to stick around for that.
Gravy on his vocals. Man, he's a killer.
Thanks, Lee, for coming out. Got new songs out. He's going on the road by himself doing not just by himself. He'll have a little team with him, but his band, it's just gonna be him and a guitar, and he kind of walks through that process with us and tells what you should expect when you go see Lee Brice on the road this year. It's gonna be pretty special.
Funny guy, talented guy.
You're gonna love it.
Just sings a lot. Sang a lot on this podcast, and I'm glad he did because it's
cut from the same cloth. We have a lot of commonalities with Lee. So,
man, it's a cool word. Is that a real word?
Commonalities? Yeah, dude. Smart
word. It's a $5 word. Bought anything on Marketplace?
Yes, I have, and it ties into this town, and people's journey in this town a little bit. We
talk about it in 15 seconds.
Marketplace Minute. Dan bought an SKB acoustic guitar case. We've been doing these gigs and kind of flying to do them sometimes, and we're in these camps where terrible roads and stuff, and so I needed one too. So on Facebook Marketplace, been looking at them, found one north of Nashville. Actually went and got it on Jordan's birthday. Did a little Facebook Marketplace deal on her birthday after we got done with her stuff. Rolled up to this guy's house. Garage opens up. All kinds of music stuff in there. He comes out and he's like, "Hey man, thanks for meeting me." Had to meet him at a certain time because he was in between rides. He was doubling. And I was like, "Hey man, who you riding with?" He's like, "Oh, my roommate and this other guy." And we kind of got into the thing and he had looked up some stuff that I'd written and we started just talking about journeys, and he was telling me he'd been here 10 years and just grinding, man, and didn't know
10-year grind's tough.
Didn't know when it was gonna pop, and I just told him, man, I lived on a houseboat on Percy Priest for 5 years and caught our dinner from a Christmas tree that we dropped under the boat. And I told him, man, this town is crazy and your journey's crazy because when you're in it and you're looking out at your future and you're picturing your future, there is no house in your future. There is no family. There is no number one parties. There's none of that because it feels so far away and it's such a grind while you're in the middle of it. But all of a sudden, one day, it changes. Yeah,
the light breaks through, right?
Yeah.
And you never know when it's going to. How many times have I said this analogy on this podcast? But it's the mining for diamonds thing, man. If you stop,
how close you
could be 2 inches from changing your life.
Yeah.
Or 2 songs for that matter.
Yeah. So keep grinding. Keep mining.
Marketplace Minute was brought to you by Reid and Facebook Marketplace. We have
SKB. Come on.
We have been roasted in our ratings, and this one is really good coming from WSM 2 or 3. That's 3.
Sounds like a radio station.
I think it is. WSM. Isn't that a radio station?
Yeah, it probably is.
And
it's an Opry station.
Calls me out so beautifully on Canter when I was talking about the wheels and it's really funny. Can I say okay? The title of the roast for ratings, 5-star. Appreciate you, WSM 3 is Numb Nuts. Hey, Numb Nuts, or is it Numb Nutses? Because I'm talking to both of y'all hillbillies. Anyway,
ouch.
Camber is the correct term for the tilt of the angle of the tires, not canter.
It is.
Canter is a gait of a horse. I'm not going to read the next line because it's offensive to my sister that he doesn't know. Bros, if you stuck with me through the banter, let me just say the podcast is legit one of my favorites. Great content, awesome guests, sweet little ditties, and a favorite segment, Gravorite song. Slam dunk move on your part for having your guests throw out a few bars of songs. I got hooked on Cassie's rendition, Cassie Ashton is who he's talking about, of What Are You Listening To? And can't miss this segment since. Now, that was a loin tickler, bros. Carry on.
Dude,
Thanks, WSM3.
Just kicked us on put us on the ground and then helped us up.
Sour and then sweet.
Yeah.
It's what we're looking for. You don't have to be sweet if you don't want to, but thanks for being sweet, WSM3.
Dude, thanks for following along. All of y'all, thanks for following us on Facebook. And if you haven't, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok if it's still around.
Oh, we're back. TikTok's back, right? We're back.
For how long? Is it going to go away? Nobody knows.
Oh, nobody knows? Oh, I thought.
But follow us on all the social media. Keep roasting us. Keep giving us 5-star ratings, and you might get a shout out.
Don't roast us and give us a 1-star rating. Nobody has yet, have they?
Okay. Well, I mean, if they do, they're not going to get shouted out on the pod. It's got to be 5-star. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Enjoy Lee Brice. Peace. All right. First of all, we got former Clemson University long snapper.
Come on.
Big fish catching. South Carolina boy. Dad of 3. Over 3.7 billion with a B, dog. Grammy nominee, CMA and ACM award winner, Mr. Lee Brice on Kenneth Lee Brice out in God's country today. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, man, you kidding me? I mean, this seems like it's going to be really hard.
It's really tough. It's gonna be the hardest podcast you've ever done in your life. No doubt. Yeah, we ask real serious questions.
When I'm surrounded by these kind of things, animals, I feel kind of at home. I put some in my studio too, just like when I'm working in the studio, I still have to survive.
You got to. All right, so we were just talking about duck hunting.
Because we're in the middle of a duck hunt trip right now.
Literally. You
got back at 2 o'clock, and then we're going back after
So you said you're going back, right?
Literally when this is over. I have to go fix my dog's battery collars because I forgot to do that this morning. My bad.
I think we're in the same boat. It's like y'all were duck hunting. You drove all the way back from Arkansas.
Yeah.
You got at 2 or 3 in the morning. I wrote until about 3, got to sleep about 4, got up 2.5 hours later and drove down 1 hour from the farm.
Same. We're down there. I'm in Spring Hill. He's in Santa
When
Fe.
did this happen, dude?
Well, I guess it's the 8 to 9 o'clock hour. Nashville's turned into Atlanta and Dallas and all that.
Do you have to do it a lot when you come to town? Do you come to town early?
I never ever come to town unless God's country asks me to come.
Hey, man, we love you for it, dude. We appreciate you for it.
That's a clip. We got to clip that and put that up. That's for sure.
All right, so we were talking about duck hunting.
Yeah.
And, man, I'm not a duck hunter, but I kind of want to be. And here's the deal. Like, I don't have to have the extravagant thing. What I want is me and my boy and my bro and his kids, just a little spot, just one duck hole.
Yeah.
Just to shoot 5 or 6 mallards, 5 or 6 greenheads.
Which is a good day.
And you were, dude, that's a great day, right? That's kind of all you want is just to see some birds work, duck call a little bit, watch a dog run out there and grab a couple. How did you put your spot in, or was it there?
So, I kind of put it in, but I put it in, kind of dug out a pond, and I just kind of let the overflow. There was already a low spot coming up to the kind of gravel road, just kind of going to the back of the farm. It's a small little farm.
But are you talking about in Franklin?
Franklin, yeah. I'm about 400 yards from Page High School. I mean, it's
we've been to
right
that.
there.
We've caught fish out of your pond.
Yeah, the pond. So the pond, if you're coming back towards where you drive into the pond, there's like a low spot. Yeah. Well, we got corn and beans and stuff growing in that little spot.
Absolutely.
If the pond overflows, then it's just this perfect. I got these pines just lined up right, and they come right over your head, and it's like so fun. It's usually like a 15-20 minute thing. It's like
awesome.
You're gonna get the birds that you've had for a week or two, and then like you get your chance at them, and that's like honestly really nice compared to I grew up like down in South Carolina. It was like you get on a boat early, dark, you go deep into the swamp, and you might catch some 100 mile an hour wood ducks, and you might kill a couple,
Sure.
But it was just about that was hard hunting. Now I did get to do kind of what y'all do like a couple of times because I knew a guy down in West Tennessee and that Reelfoot area past that. And man, they called it the money pit. They drive you out through the water, drop you off, and you get down in the thing. They had a
sausage
lazy boy.
Cooking,
they had a lazy boy and a TV
heaters.
I like literally, I got out of my clothes and sat in a lazy boy and was watching TV and like cooking egg sausage biscuits while they're right through the other door, under the water, under the ground, like going, all right, the birds are coming. I'm like, I get up in my underwear and go over there and shoot. That was awesome.
Yeah,
but that's like a luxury
That's
thing.
cake. Yeah.
You know, I do like my son has been doing it 16, and he gets up by himself and he'll go out there in the dark, put his decoys out, walk through the water, go stand in the pines, and wait for that kind of 20-minute little window.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's cool to have
Good for
that.
him.
You know,
I
like
can't
you were
believe,
talking.
you said he was 16.
He's 16, dude.
Oh my gosh, dude, when did that?
It happened.
I feel like I remember him being born.
Yeah, you do. I was in
Crazy.
Losers crying.
Yeah.
Like so happy. I was like, I got a boy coming.
I'm so excited. Boy.
Boy. And now it used to be boy. Now it's boy.
Boy?
Boy. What is wrong with you?
Yeah. Hey, I got to tell the story. Reed's already heard it 14 times, but since we're talking about boys, and then we'll do a quick little kid moment here. My son is potty training. He's 2.5, and probably when he's 16, he's gonna be like, Dad, I can't believe you told that on the podcast. But he's potty training, and if you don't know, when your kids are potty training, a lot of time you just like let them run around with no pants on. They're figuring it out, dude.
Right.
Figuring it out.
Yeah, okay.
Well, he likes full Monty. He's naked. He's a naked boy. He loves running around our house naked.
It reminds me of me.
Yeah. Same. So the other
Not now
night,
it's 7 degrees outside. But
it's a little cold for that now. I was putting my bets in. I was watching the Ohio State game, and he climbs up on my chair, shoulder, and I'm not paying any. You become numb to that stuff.
It's crawling on you like a monkey.
Yeah, whatever.
You're the tree.
So he somehow turns around, and I'm still looking at my phone. He grabs my hair, and like if you were to grab a pole and swing out, he grabs my hair, swings out halfway through the swing while his front is coming like this. He farts and then teabags me in one fluid motion. He was like, meh, and he's this tall, and I was like, get off me! All my kids off me! Get away! I was just pushing the baby. I was
brink.
Like throwing the baby.
That was the straw, man.
Like
That was the
Eddie
straw.
Vedder grabs a mic cable from the thing, swings out over the crowd, just comes back.
That's what it was. He swung out, a leg
Boom.
out like this, like
Out.
Off your hair.
and went-
Your hair isn't that long though. This got to be a little.
I
mean, it's
just
kinda
cut
long.
7 inches off of it.
Oh wow. Okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
well,
I stand corrected.
This day it was still,
Still rocking.
yeah, it was rock. I got tired of it.
Kids
Lee.
are great, man. Kids are great.
I got tired of my long hair, dude. I got tired of it.
Yeah. Well,
It's just such a
it's
thing.
such a young man's thing.
Totally. I went from like cool band guy to like virgin IT tech in like 2 years. It was like,
Yeah.
what? I look like,
It's kind of midlife crisis stuff.
yeah, I'm
It's
thinking about
some
buying a
midlife
red
crisis
Corvette,
things going
dude.
on.
Just
Hey, just you know what the
There's
new
more
ones.
to it.
The
There's
new
more
ones.
to
I
it.
don't even think you can buy a straight drive.
really,
I don't think you can buy a new Corvette that's like a manual.
it's all automatic.
I don't think I don't even think you can.
That's
special
that's
order.
blasphemy.
I know,
dude.
man. I don't. If I ever am going to buy a sports car, I want to have control over it.
Totally,
with
for
my
sure.
right hand
For
and
sure.
my clutch. You know what I
I
mean?
kind of hate that about new vehicles. Like, I hate people telling me what to do, and I really hate machines telling me what to do.
Yeah.
Manuals
You need to buckle up.
manuals
You need
are.
to-
Yeah.
I buckle up. I'm just saying,
I'm
like,
gonna buckle up too, but like-
you need to get further away from the yellow line. I'm like, dude, stop.
Yeah. The truck will literally stop if
Yeah.
you. I mean,
Truck.
I feel like manuals are kind of about to be a thing of the past. Like, I mean, I know they're still making them, but it feels like it's not even. I don't know anybody that drives a manual anymore. I don't know anybody that drives a manual.
I mean,
There's a couple people I know that still
that can or that do.
do.
Yeah.
But like, I know a couple people. I can't even remember who they are. I just know. I just talked to somebody about the other day. Like, yeah, it's a manual. I was like, what? You got a manual? I didn't
right.
even know they hardly make those anymore.
Right. That's what I.
But they're the
drove.
most fun thing. I mean, I had a 3 on the tree on this old Ford. I didn't. It was my daddy's Ford F100 2-wheel drive.
yeah.
Come on.
Why? And there's a 3 on the tree. And I grew up with a little 79 Love Chevrolet. You know.
Yeah.
In fact, where the gear shift was like a hole through the floor. So when I was
Just
like
straight to the
going to church
transmission?
or going on a date with my girlfriend, if you went through water, like water came up through the thing and splash you. You're like,
Watch out!
yeah. So I got me a big piece of rubber, a nice piece of rubber, cut it really clean, cut a hole in it, put it over it, and I got me some self-threading screws and made them like even, like silver little.
Make it work.
And
man.
it was pretty, that old Love Chevrolet,
I love
19
that.
4-wheel drive, 31 1050s.
Come
It
on.
barely turned them tires up
Oh,
a hill
yeah.
though. I'll tell you that.
Can't beat it.
I bet that was a smooth ride.
Well, it was like a 4-wheeler. You could take it anywhere, as light as a feather.
That's great.
What did I have? What were my? I had some. I mean, all I drove was a stick shift because I had to buy my own vehicles, and they were always
cheaper.
like $6,000 cheaper because nobody could drive them.
Yep.
You know what? That Bronco I looked at, it was
Like an older Bronco, a new one, but they have straight drive.
it was a stick shift, man.
Yeah, but it's not like old school. It ain't through on a tree like where you're locking it in.
This is 3 on the tree.
Yeah, that's different.
Well, I'm saying you're literally in those new ones. You're just going.
Oh yeah, it is different.
It's like
that started a long time ago, where your clutches only goes down about like that far.
It's one movement.
You just barely
it's
even
up and back.
You know,
Yeah,
I got this. I bought this. My guitar player gets bored and he does random things. He like spent like a year and he just bought this old Samurai, like Suzuki Samurai hardtop, and he like took it apart, rebuilt the whole thing, like just learned on YouTube and just wanted to learn.
Come on,
and just rebuild a whole Samurai, and it's got like a little clutch like that. But it's old, but it's still got a little clutch. It's not like a big Jeep. Like the old Jeeps, like I got a 79, big, long clutch, and you really got to like know what you're doing. Well, my Riker got in there, my middle son, and in 1 minute, 60 seconds, we were going, and he was shifting gears down the road. And
Had never driven one?
No, he just learned in 2 seconds.
We like to do a little thing. We'll start it off. A little song called, a little segment called What You Mad At.
Man, I'm tired this morning. Wish I could do it.
What you mad at? Just tell us what it is, what you mad at. Is it your in-laws' kids, might be your boss man, or your neighbor's cat? Just tell us what you mad at. You like that, don't you?
I like that.
Oh, barbecue sauce.
Oh, I want my baby back, baby back,
Bro.
baby back. I want my baby back, baby back.
That's my 2-year-old's favorite song. There's a video on YouTube of Boys to Men doing it,
Oh, really?
and it's like
Dude,
we're not gonna
met
sing
them.
this song.
I grew up loving them.
They're like we're not even gonna sing that song here. We're just gonna have some ribs. We're not even gonna sing that song because everybody thinks it's our song, and they do a thing.
I want my baby back, baby back.
What's the
What?
We don't even talk anymore.
Oh, dude. We don't even know what we argue about.
Don't even say I love you no more. 'Cause saying how we feel is no longer allowed.
Why do we hurt each other?
You know, when they do the harmony, like to that kind of song, because it's chords are so weird, it's not like a normal gospel thing.
No, right.
So like they got dialed that thing like in.
Oh, dude.
Although we come to the end of the road, when I can't let go, it's so natural. You belong to me. You belong to me.
Dude, get out of my face. Get out of my face, these white boys, dude. Come on.
Boys to boys right here.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Tired.
Come on over to the house.
Real boys to real tired.
That was a so she
We
watches
should
that.
be boys to dads.
Boys to boys.
Yeah, boys to boys.
We're turning from a boy
Boys
to a
and
boy.
boys.
Boy.
You grew up today. You
Boys
boy.
to never a man. Never men.
Y'all didn't have Brian Davidson. He's like, I'm gonna grow up someday. You know, he's like, 45. He's someday.
He's good, dude.
That was a made it moment for me. We were watching that Boys to Men thing on the TV, and we've written with one of the guys.
Oh, yeah,
on there.
yeah.
And
The guy. What's the guy?
He
The skinny
kinda-
face with the little
what's his name?
goatee.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
He's kind of like the sort of the lead
yes,
singer.
The
but
glasses,
he's not the
yeah.
flair guy. You got the flair guy,
And then there's two of them that kind of
Yeah.
lead.
That's right.
it's that guy.
But we wrote with him and wrote a song. He came into town and wanted to do some country stuff. So we wrote a song with him, and we were watching that, and I got it out. I was like, man, I'm just gonna holler at him and dude, Boys to Men is like iconic in my family.
Yeah, me
especially
too.
for my
Fifth
sister.
grade dance. I'm in there like singing it, you know,
they were
dancing like this, you know, hands on.
Leave some room in there for Jesus.
Leave some room for Jesus.
Leave some
You
room
got
for
people,
Jesus.
you got the adults on the side doing the thing. But I texted him. I was like, "Hey man," I was like, "Just want you to know, we're sitting here. My little girl's favorite song is y'all's version of Baby Back Ribs, and I was like, I've watched it a million times. Just thought about you. Thought I'd holler at you. He was like, dude, we had so much fun. He's like, we had so much fun filming that. Yeah, he's like, we had so much fun. We had filming that video.
That's cool.
It was great.
He's a cool guy.
He's great.
Sorry, where are we mad
What
at?
you mad at? You can be mad. It could be whatever. Dude.
You know what I'm mad
You can
at?
be glad.
I'll go.
All right, go.
I'm mad at personalized license plates, man. I hope you don't have one. Do you have one? Did you just say like hard to LUV?
No, I do not.
Dude, if you're a grown man and you
Hard
get
to LUV.
personalized license plate, like, okay, you're too cool for me. Whatever, get out of my lane, bro. Like, I'm mad at that. I'm mad at personalized license plates.
Yeah, I don't like. It doesn't make me too mad, but I can see that.
I like doing some. I like throwing some petty things into this segment instead of it all being traffic every time.
I'm with that.
I do hate traffic.
Let me see that guitar.
Sure.
Got a line of a song coming on my new record. Oh, it's all.
No, let me get it over there.
And it
Love this little thing.
this song. You'll see the title real quick. Nope, not that key.
We had to go nylon this morning.
Yeah, we left everything in Arkansas.
So the end of a verse is I'm mad I got so many guns and I'm glad Earnhardt's gone. Said no country boy ever since we've been around. So the mad thing, I'm mad I got so many guns and I'm glad Earnhardt's gone. I see people go, what'd you say? Said no country boy ever since we've been around. Said no country boy ever since the tractor and a plow. Since my baby's kisses didn't last so damn long. Said no country boy, country boy.
Yeah, man.
Ready for that one,
Yeah,
dude. That's perfect for this segment.
What are you mad at? I'm mad I got so many guns and I'm glad Earnhardt's gone. I see people go, what did you just say?
It happened to me. I was like, oh, you can't say
I know.
that.
You just
you
went,
can't say
you're
that in
like,
country
you started
songs.
getting flushed. Your heart starts beating kind
That's what
of
makes
fast.
it work. That's what makes it work.
Cut this segment. So.
Cut this segment.
I'm glad at today. Jordan's birthday was a couple weeks ago.
Happy birthday, Jordan.
Last week.
Jumpy.
Went and did a nice little couples massage, man. It was great. Gonna go eat some sushi. We got to the sushi place. And it was the two segment. One, I'm mad at restaurant prices.
Oh.
Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. We go to a sushi place, walk in. I'm like, oh, dang, man, these crab ragoons. I would like some of these crab ragoons. $1 million for 4. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I want it anymore. I don't think I want it. I would love to have some, but I don't want it.
I don't want them that bad.
I don't want them that bad. Yeah. So we eat. There's a table right here of some girls from out of town. You hear them talking from Chicago.
You did?
I
can already know this is going.
You can, there's another couple over here. One waiter, middle of the day lunch, not many people in there. Everybody leaves. I go to the bathroom. I come out and I'm looking at the table where the girls, this big group of Chicago girls just left. What's on the end? Sitting there perfect.
Two crispy fried.
Two crispy fried.
Didn't touch
crab ragoons. And I stopped and I was like, I would really like to eat those crab ragoons.
They gone.
They gone.
They gone.
I mean,
I went to the table, sat down with Jordan, and I was like, hey, what would you do if I just happened to show up with 2 crab ragoons in a second? She was like, what are you talking about?
That I didn't pay for.
I looked at the waiter. Waiter walks around the corner.
Snagged.
Hey. I was like, hey, eat it quick because he knows we didn't order crab ragoons.
it's like better than the 5-second rule. It ain't been touched at all.
Dude,
I mean, maybe not.
it was like the light was hitting them too, and you know, like
It's like they're glowing.
But dog, they were literally for 4 of them. It was like $37, and it's a fried tortilla with some cheese in it.
Yeah,
that'll cost you 30 cents at home to make.
I just flew back like a day and a half ago from Maui with 8 hours flight. You know,
Maui's he's the ticket.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But we
Cost
had
you an
like,
arm and a leg.
We got to the place and they were like, "Hey, here's like a handful of like all these like breakfast vouchers. We're staying at the Ritz-Carlton. We're doing like this. They put us up and we're doing this
It's be my thing.
benefit."
Right?
No, it's not. It's now changed, but it was kind of more for the fires and stuff that were out there and all the stuff. And so we were there, got a little vacation out of it. I played a big show, but anyway, we got there like, hey, they handed me a big handful of like breakfast vouchers, I'm not a big breakfast guy anymore, but my wife, vacation, she's up at freaking 6 a.m. I'm like, isn't this a vacation? Can we sleep in? It maybe once. Anyway, so I went to breakfast every day. And so we were using our vouchers. We didn't think enough of it, leave a little tip, got vouchers.
Yeah.
And then like the last day we had like one voucher left and I was like, I'm not even hungry. I said, but I'm going to go with it. I don't want you to go by yourself. So I go with her and I get there. I'm like, you know what? I'll just grab a plate. I had one voucher and I figured maybe it's like, and I said, whatever, I'll pay for the other if it's not. They said, no, this one will be fine for both of you. So I sit down, and I went over there and got a little plate, and I got like one little piece of sausage and like a tiny little bit of scrambled eggs, like brought over just to have just a little piece of salmon and capers. That's it.
A little protein.
And then just so I could be sitting there eating while she's eating. Sure. And then the dude comes over, the waiter after, he's, all right, so do you have the other voucher? I was like, oh, no. I said, I don't. We only had one. I was like, but I'll just pay for it. He goes, okay. He comes back over, and I'm telling you, like it was like a plate, like my 2-year-old would eat, right? And because I didn't even want it, and I had like a glass of iced tea, and he said, "Brings
didn't even go mimosa, just went iced tea."
No mimosa,
no alcohol,
no nothing.
Okay,
right? $67.
You ate a $37 piece of sausage.
I was like, and then you tip. It was $80.
For one baby
for a
breakfast,
plate
for
that I
2-year-old
didn't even
plate.
want, and it wasn't even. I mean,
80 bones.
$80. I was like, holy crap! We saved some money this week because we had like 5 days in a row for free. That would have been $160 per day
for 5 days. You
I'm
like
like
7, 6, 7.
I'm like, man, and then I'm like, but I was like, $80
for some scrambled eggs,
for like one spoonful and like one like turkey sausage and like
how
I don't know. This is a Ritz-Carlton in Maui. I guess.
Well, this ain't the Ritz. I swung by Cheyenne's salon the other day. She said, "Get me some lunch." I was like, "Don't really want to. Kind of get in a pinch, but I'll go do it."
Dog, don't go by Chick-fil-A.
Went by Chick-fil-A.
Don't go by Chick-fil-A.
I was like, "What do you want?" She goes, 12 nuggets, fruit cup, Diet Coke, light ice.
Okay,
I was like, "Gotcha, baby." Roll up in there. I didn't get anything.
That's all you got.
Guess,
so you got nuggets.
Guess the
fruit cup.
12 now. 12 grilled. No 12 fries. Grilled. No, just
not the 8 count. The 12. Fruit 12 count.
Fruit 12 count.
12 CT.
Diet Coke.
Yes.
$13, $14, $15.
What you got? How much you think it was? $18.
8 for fruit.
Remember, you could go like
dollars.
You could go there for like $4.95 and get
$5.
like
$5 you were balling.
You could eat.
Dude, $18 used to would buy you the whole menu at McDonald's.
$18. It was like $17.67 or something
for fruit and some chicken.
I literally was like, I was doing the math in my head of like if I had just bought it and cooked it at the house. $3. It is outlandish.
It's crazy.
We spent $30 last night at Popeyes.
If all that money was going to the farmers who grow the food, I would be okay with it. But that ain't where it's going.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely.
Oh, dude.
They ain't getting pennies on it.
And Chick-fil-A's Jesus' chicken, man. Like,
I know.
Take it easy on us out here. It's hard.
You know what? If you're going to charge that much, you need to be open on Sunday.
Oh,
preach.
Run for office.
Hey, what did deer season or what did hunt season look like for you last year? Did you have time? Did you go?
This past year was a weird year.
Okay.
Last year,
okay,
I killed probably on my little farm. He's probably called him baby brow. Had no brow tines. They were like an inch long.
Okay.
But he was probably 155 inches. Jeez. 9 points.
On your farm?
On my little tiny farm.
How old was he, do you think?
He was probably 4.5.
Okay.
Beautiful.
But so we called him baby brow. It's actually funny. Called him baby brow because he just didn't.
Yeah.
It was a genetic, just didn't.
Yeah.
So if he'd have had 6-inch brow tines, he'd have been
160 plus.
You know what I'm saying? He's
possible
a
boomer,
big buck.
Man. Yeah.
So, but he needed to be. So, the cool part is we called him baby brow, like cameras all year.
Do you know he was in there? Or is this the first year he showed up?
It was the first year he showed up.
Okay.
I mean, I think he was there the year before, but we didn't really have him on camera really, but I'd seen him.
Fringe deer.
But there was another bigger buck. I was like, I got 2 monster bucks on this year. Anyway, called him baby brow. And my brother, Lewis, he's a like crack shot. I mean, you know, and I got this gun that never misses anything ever.
Yeah.
Like something about it. I mean, you can make a terrible shot and somehow just stuff dies.
What is it?
It's a 300 Win Mag Ruger, just bolt action, just wooden, just
American built machine.
It
Gets it
just
done.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, Lewis, he runs to the farm. He goes, "Hey man, I'm gonna go hunting." I said, "All right, go on out there. I can't be there." So he goes, "You know, if I see like, you know, he knows what we're kind of keeping or not shooting or this or that." He said, "What if I see?" I said, "Man, it's getting late in the season. It's late in the season." I said, "Yeah." I said, "If you see, you know, one of them bucks, obviously we hadn't seen them because they left during the rut."
Dude, I just heard one of them bucks.
I did too, dude. I did
So
too.
he came out there, and Lewis goes, "Can I?" I said, "He's in front of you. Shoot him." Kaboom! I hear it across the farm, and I heard kaboom, clap. And he goes, "All right, I got him." Said he kicked, high kicked, spun around, jetted into the thickest stuff ever. And I said, "Well, come on out and come hang out. We'll hang out in the studio for a little bit, and then we'll go, you know."
Yeah.
Give him some time.
So we go back, and there is not. And this gun is almost too big for a whitetail, but it just happened. I always know it's on, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Go over there. I drop a blood. Normally this gun, like there's like a tree would be splattered.
Yeah.
Like if there's anything behind it,
Right.
you know. Nothing. Right. Nothing. Looked everywhere. And he's like, I mean, Lee, like, he's like, he was 100 yards away. Like he was a chip shot. He's like, I mean, he was quarter away a little bit. He's like, maybe I just got the buck fever and pulled it. You know, he's quartered away to the, like this way.
Yeah.
We just like, man, you just didn't hit him. I mean, there's no way. There's nothing. Well, the next day, I sat in my stand, the same stand. That buck comes walking out, same exact spot where Lewis shot the day before. And
Did he look hit? Did he look hit at all?
just walked out, just stood there like a perfect picture. You know, I'm like,
Good time.
boom. Same thing. Spun around, high kicked, jetted into the thick stuff. You know, I never missed anything with this gun. So I was like, I did the same thing. I said, "Lewis, let's go meet the studio for a little bit." But I kind of drove by where he
Just to
was,
see,
just to see if and I drove by and I started slowing down because I was like, wow, there should be blood everywhere. Okay, let me just keep going. So I kept going, and then I said, all right. I said, well, I drove by there. I said that, but that's obviously can't be true.
Yeah.
He goes, I said, if it is, it's like some kind of ghost buck. Like it's really odd. It ain't like you're shooting a bow and like, you know.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah.
And I go back and I sit. I go back to the stand. I said, I'm going to just go sit in the stand. And I sat for another 2 hours. And just sat to about 9:30, got out. I said, all right, well, let's go over there and let's go find him. You know, I just go over there. Not a drop of anything anywhere. I mean, I had to move the cart because I thought I pulled it up too far or something. I was like, maybe there's blood under the cart. I'm like, this is insane. So look for like 30, 40 minutes. I'm like, I mean, this is insane. I was like, I mean, basically kind of like, this must be some kind of ghost buck.
Yeah.
Missed him. Go to walk to the car and I'm gonna just go over this little path, you know, where he ran in one more time. I look and my eyes aren't great. You know that the hay and the big straw that's got the little red spots all over it, kind of, you know, kind of looks like that.
Yeah, it does.
But I like 6 feet in, I'm like, it's probably the red spot, but it looks a little bit like, I'm talking about like the tiniest little spigot of blood. I thought, and I look over, I'm like, I mean, it looks, but then I went and rubbed my finger on it, but I'd been there for like 3 hours, you know, and it was dry, and I was like, but it still looks like blood. And as I was at 6 feet in, I look another 6 feet, and there he is laying there.
No way.
So I go over, he's laying there, and you know, and I pick him up, and on his left eyebrow, Lewis had literally burned his eyebrow, a gash in his eyebrow. It was not a fighting thing. It was he was quartered away from Lewis, and Lewis must have pulled it like a little bit.
Yeah, just trimmed.
And his
him.
name was Baby Brow, and my baby brother shot him in the eyebrow the day before I have him mounted with a big scar over his.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't that wild?
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's wild.
That's crazy.
Baby. Yeah. That's
Baby
crazy.
brother, my baby brother missed him with the gun that doesn't miss.
And
Shot
shot,
him in
his
the brow.
eyebrow.
But I was gonna and shot him in the brow. I was gonna cut his shirt tail, but I was like, you actually hit him technically,
yeah.
so I didn't have to cut his shirt tail.
Well, why didn't he bleed? Where did you hit him? Great shot.
I just hit him. I purposely. I kind of been on a thing lately. Where I'm at, where it's so thick in there. I don't want them to, even if you shoot them through the heart, they'll still run
dude.
20, 30
You
feet.
got to put them down, and then
I like to shoot them a little high on the shoulder.
Yeah.
That way,
get it done.
Try to break it down.
It'll just go normally.
Yeah.
But I shot him a little high on the shoulder, but not quite high enough. And so he still only ran probably 17 yards.
Yeah.
But that's what that's why he didn't bleed. I didn't kind of bust through his, I might have hit the top of a lung or something. That's why but he went down. But
That's a good deer.
dude, he's a great deer.
I want to
From
see
where
a
I'm,
picture of him. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
that's-
I mean,
that's
I
awesome.
mean, he's bigger than these in here. A lot bigger than these in here.
Ooh, man.
What did I feel that?
Hitting on our butt.
That's all right, dude.
He
Yeah, a lot
sound like
bigger-
that. He
lot-
sound like that one, except with no brow.
A lot bigger than that one. Not,
Buck
not-
shamer,
not-
dude. I didn't know Lee Brice was a buck shamer, dude.
What did
Buck Shamer.
Bruck Shamer Lee, Bruck Shamer Brice? What did growing up in South Carolina like? What did the outdoors look like for you there?
Every single Saturday, Sunday you're at church. Sunday night you're at church. Wednesday you're at church. Choir practice probably on Mondays. It was our life. And then Saturdays, every Saturday during hunting season, we were dog driving with the club. My daddy had a whole kennel of walkers.
Really?
They're beagles with long legs.
Yeah,
if
man,
anybody knows.
Walk around.
Awesome
and
dog.
Daddy had one called Train. First song I ever wrote, second song I ever wrote, was called Train. It was called God Gives Every Man One Great Hound. Like I'm 11 years old and I made my daddy and his best friend like ball their eyes
That's
out.
a great hook, actually.
And
That
but
gets me because I got
every
one right now.
Saturday, and they still have the club because there ain't many states anymore that run
Allows
dogs.
it, right.
No,
Maybe
there's
Texas, Georgia, and South Carolina. I mean, it's not a lot.
right.
And so I even went and did it this year. We went and, they still do it. It's not the same. It used to be, we were like,
Oh, yeah.
so many dogs and
You just went everywhere.
I mean, you're like Dukes of Hazzard. Everybody's got CBs. You're, well, get him. We got to get to the pine block. Got to get to the edge.
Yeah.
And we're Daddy's hauling butt across the field. And I'm hands on the dash, my head bouncing against the,
That's
windshield.
That's
And
beautiful.
great stuff. That was probably the biggest.
no seatbelts. Dude, we never.
No, heck no. You got to take.
I'm
It takes time to
standing
take
on
them
the
off.
seat with my hands on the dash and my face, and he's,
Yeah, bro.
hauling just across a field or who knows what's where, but
My dad's face lights up when you ask him about, because he grew up in Mississippi, and you ask him about like some of those stories, and so they drove. That was his upbringing, is driving, deer with dogs, and he's same thing. He's like, we're flying down dirt roads, and people flying out the back of the truck, and then he couldn't stop to go get them because the deer was going.
Dogs jumping out.
man, and
people
you're shooting
getting
a deer.
bit.
You're shooting a deer that's running,
getting-
full speed. You got to shoot it like a rabbit or a dove. I mean, they're about this low to the ground, hauling tail across the
30-06.
Unless you're on the backside and they're trying to creep out because they hear the dogs and they're not actually being run yet, and they'll be creeping out and you're already there. And they look up, and you're like, "Hey,
Are we doing it?
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
That's fun.
That's awesome. Are your boys getting into it?
yeah." Dakota has been eat up with turkey hunting. Our farm's just got so many. It's
Middle
surrounded by the
Tennessee's
Harpeth
stupid.
River.
Middle Tennessee's stupid.
And it's like, so there's all that's a root. The whole farm's, they're roosting literally on the whole farm.
Beautiful.
And so he'll go like I told you we're not far from Page High School and Page Middle School. He'd get up in the morning and go to the stand, like a little kind of a turkey blind that's covered, like a tent sort of one, a ground blind. And he would, like, just in time, he would leave his gun there, walk through, cross the fence, go through the neighbor's yard, through their big field, about 300 yards, go down their road, and he'd take his boots off and hang them in a tree.
Come on.
Put his shoes on in his backpack, go to school, get out of school, come back there, put his boots back on, and go get back in the stand in
I
the
love
afternoon.
this kid already, dude.
And it's like, who got to do that?
Right.
To
That-
walk to school through the woods. So, yeah. So he's eat up with that. Now he's loving duck hunting. He was on the trap team this year.
Awesome.
By the way, don't ever let your kids do that.
I thought you're supposed to let him do that.
If you want to pay $7,000 for the shells, and I'm not I'm not saying like
Just
$1 million.
shoot,
I'm
shoot.
saying $7,000 to pay for
What's that? A year's
one
worth?
season.
Man, that's like a.
I'm like, well, so I said, yeah, go do this. Blah, blah. He goes, all right, here, we got to get these shells. I'm like, okay, I'll get the shells on my order. I'm like, well, what?
That's like paying another admission.
I know.
to
I'm
school.
like, I could have bought you a truck for this.
Yeah, that's a lease in Kentucky.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? So, well, I will say I think he kind of went through half of them. So he's going to do it again this year. Because he said, I want to do it again. I said, well, you do it again because you have these shells left over. You ain't doing it after this.
When you run out that last shell, it's over.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Better not be practicing.
I hate to tell you, but you can go back to throwing your discus and being an inside linebacker. Like, I can buy you like 3 discs.
Well, he may make up for. He may get a scholarship, man, to make up for all that.
I don't know, man. He's shooting he's at trap shooting, right? I'm like, hey, man, go take my over and under, like, trap shooting gun, right? He's like, well, Daddy, I like this Winchester automatic duck gun. I'm like, dude.
You gotta have.
Of course you do.
And he's like, well, I'm just used to it. I said, well, okay, well, I know. And he's good with it, you know. But I'm like, yeah, but this is a different level of thing. These guns are a little more set up for that. No, so he shot the whole season with the Winchester. Luke Bryan gave me this.
Is it camoed out? Or?
Camoed out.
12 gauge, 20 gauge.
12 gauge.
Okay.
Luke Bryan gave it to me for like a end of the tour gift, like,
yeah.
10 years ago. Yeah. And like, it's a good gun. It was like one of those, it's like, $2,500 gun. It's a nice gun. The other day he goes, well, Daddy, I said, I'm going to go. He said, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to go clean my gun. I got to go do this. He goes, well, I'll clean your gun. He said, I need to probably clean. I've never cleaned my gun. I said, what? Because he calls it his.
Yeah.
He's been shooting it for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
I said, wait, you've never cleaned your gun ever? And you actually shot trap with it
All year long.
all year long. And you've hunted with it, duck hunting, muddy, all of it. Never cleaned it. Now, I will say that's a sign of a pretty good gun.
Ain't no doubt.
for sure.
Ain't no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt. Got to clean them, boy.
That's awesome. Did you cut your teeth in church? Like, is that where you?
Oh, yeah.
Is that where music started?
You had to.
Yeah. First
You
time
got
I
too
ever
much
performed
soul
ever, I was 7 years old, and I played. I called it with both hands because I was proud. I was 7, and I sang in front of the whole church. Oh, how I love Jesus! It was my first time I ever played in front of anyone, and I just learned how to play the song because I'd already dabbled on piano just since I was a baby. But yeah, I mean, and then singing solos and you know doing your giving the message
Specials,
across.
we call them specials.
And I mean, it really is that way. It's like. But in church, it was more about getting that message across.
Yeah.
And I think that to this day, when I'm singing any of my songs on stage, the first thing I'm doing is getting the message across. You know what I mean? And that came from me seeing my mama up there. My mama would like stop singing. She's a great singer. She'd stop singing in church and start talking the words if she felt like she needed to do that for you to really get the message.
I love that, dude.
And so it's part of that
very true.
that I've blessed with is from like her and from church, and because that's what it wasn't. You didn't get up there to like
Perform.
Perform. You got up there to
sing
like,
about God.
You were a part of the service,
Sure, man.
part of the message, and so yeah, I definitely. I mean, church is the number. And I was a staffer, counselor, music leader at a camp for like 10 years in a row, like a summer camp, and I led worship and all that kind of stuff.
Where's your stanky soul come from, dude? You got some stank on that thing, man.
Aunt Henry, my mama's oldest sister, she played the piano and she taught me how to play she taught me how to play by ear. When I got to Nashville and they had this number system, 1, 4, 5, 6, whatever. Yeah. I didn't know, but she had taught me that. She wrote the chords down in order, and she's like, "Look, if it goes here, 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 and here, then if you want to make it go lower, this is your list. Just if you start here, just do the same pattern." I was like, "Oh." So she's called it learning to play by ear, right? By ear.
Yeah.
And she said, well, by ear, air.
By
I
ear.
never knew by ear. I didn't know, never thought saying air or ear when I was a kid. But church was all of it. And that's so Aunt Henry.
You got some R&B on it, though. She had to have.
She was.
Who was it? Otis Redding and some of them cats.
Oh, yeah. Well, I grew up. I mean, I love, like we were talking about Boys to Men earlier. Yeah. I mean, Brian McKnight, and Whitney Houston and, I know.
What's that, Bill Withers?
I know. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's that. Yeah, that stuff I was drawn to.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. And I mean,
like Travis Tritt too, like Travis
he has
Tritt
it
and
too?
like soul,
For
that
sure.
soul,
For sure. What's the too high?
No. But you are doing it. You are doing it. I used to do it in D. A.
Oh,
F sharp.
oh.
Oh,
So,
whoa!
hang on,
That
give me a
guitar
second.
ain't loving that.
No.
Hey, do it in. That's fine. We could do it in.
Well, it was-
where were you at? Playing it in C. That's fine. That's lower actually.
Hang on.
And girl, you know I've known you forever. How many nights have we hung out together? Same little bar, little crowd, little town, round this old dance floor. Tap you on the shoulder, and there's in motion like a jog ain't any closer. They wanna know what's up, why I'm still holding you, even when the song is over. There's a rumor going round about me and you, staring up our little town the last week or two.
This is it right here.
So tell me why we even trying to deny this feeling. I feel it, don't you feel it too? There's a rumor going round and round and round. What you say we make it true? Make it true, baby, yeah.
That's
nasty.
funky. That's funky right
For
there,
a combination of like
Funky.
8 hours of sleep between us three, it's not too bad.
Not too bad.
Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
Hey, we came up with we were jamming all your stuff on the way in, and we came up on our drive home last night.
Delirious.
We
drive.
came up with
Delirium drive home.
with a game for you. And it plays off your song "Hard to Love," which is also Billy Montana, right?
Yeah.
He's in there too. Love those guys.
It's a great song.
Love those guys. Randy, love them.
I love
That's our
Randy.
people.
But we were jamming that song, and I said, "Man, I think it would be funny." Or no, you did. You said,
Yeah.
was it this year? We had a bunch of different
You
ideas.
always
but
think
this-
these ideas are yours, but this
Well, I'm
one was
sure-
actually
I
this
probably-
was actually mine.
I probably solided it up a little bit, but the concept is what makes you hard to love, right? Like what, why, and the way we planning on doing it. So do it, Reid. How we're doing it?
I'm hard to love, hard to love. No, I don't make it easy. Sometimes I act like I don't smell dirty diapers. I'm hard. So
You
my
understand?
wife will change them.
That's why.
You know what I'm saying?
You get the game,
Dude,
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
That sounds like me. We had a deal. I rub her feet every night. She changed the poopy diapers.
Wait, say that again.
Yeah, it was great.
I'm in.
Now, I mean, unless I was like, if I was, with baby by myself, and a poopy happened, I would
A
call
little
Sarah.
poopy.
I'd be like, "So, how far are you away from home? Like, are you
Oh,
leaving the
yeah.
grocery store yet, or like something like that?"
Pulling
If
the
it was
driveway?
within like 15 minutes, 20
You
minutes,
can deal with it.
Might stretch it. I had to change a couple, but for the most part, look, I'm talking about rub her feet every single night before she goes to bed, like for real massage, and it's still to this day. And now it's done extended to her hands, so it's like as soon as I get done with each foot, now I got to do her hands, but it pays off. But anyway, yeah, it was a great trade.
Okay, here's mine. I'm hard to love, no, I don't make it easy. I fix stuff with duct tape, and my wife don't think it's fixed. If you fix something with duct tape,
Like what? What are you fixing with
okay.
duct tape?
The other day, our battery-powered vacuum fell over, and it broke the sucky
Connector thing.
the sucky connector. Well, I slapped that bitch together, DT'd it,
Perfect.
and this
You
is what-
can't ever take it off. Like if you want to get in between the couch cushions,
You don't do it
Can't
anyway.
happen with that.
You don't
one.
do it anyway.
You don't? No,
You don't do it anyway.
you don't.
So she comes in, she goes, is it time for a new vacuum? I was like, no, that one's fixed. She was like, it's got duct tape on it. I was like, yeah, exactly. Fixed. Right?
with that.
All right, you're up, Lee.
Oh Lord. Hard to love, I don't make it easy. My wife thinks I got so much stuff piled up, but I know exactly where everything is, and she don't believe me.
Bro, I love
Why do you have to have so much stuff? I'm like, I know where my at. I mean, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I know.
Right. It's organized chaos.
I got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All
Absolutely.
right, let's go another round. Go.
I'm hard to love. No, I don't make it easy. I shrink her clothes because I don't know what's not supposed to go in the dryer.
Decent.
I don't, man. I'm a throw it in there, cold wash, throw it in the dryer, warm it up, hot as it can go, get it done.
Sorry, it fits our daughter.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm hard to love, no, I don't make it easy. I leave hair all over the sink when I shave my beard, dude. I'm sorry. Sometimes I don't have time to get it
I almost
all.
wanted to make an invention, but a towel works. But you like a thing that like molds over your sink. You shave and then you just take it and you just go dump
Chunk
it out.
Yeah.
Dump it, yeah.
I use toilet paper. I do like 4 or 5
Just do a
strips of
towel.
toilet paper. And,
Paper towels work better.
Yeah,
Because you got a little more
that's good too.
surface.
That's why I said a whole towel.
Whole towel, yeah.
Yeah, towels.
Then you got to go outside and like do
Yeah,
this thing.
Yeah, you're up. Last one.
Oh, I'm hard to love. I don't make it easy. I swear I smell good because I showered yesterday morning.
Yeah, I almost did that one.
I mean, it's only been, I showered yesterday.
I'm 2 days.
Yeah, I'm fine.
2 days.
It's
I'm good.
now tonight.
What's up?
I mean, that's only like,
It lasts at
30
least
It
36
wasn't hot
hours.
outside. It wasn't hot outside.
I didn't do
I
anything.
didn't sweat,
Right.
right?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm good with that, dude.
She's not.
Apparently.
I love that segment. I love that. But why does he sound so good?
Dude, it's-
Even faking around, he sounds like $1 billion at
Yeah, man.
10:15. This is stupid, man. You're a killer, dude.
Man,
You're a killer. You're a vocal killer.
Did you know?
I'm impressed. Like, y'all are singing, like, y'all are. I love this.
church,
like, the
dude.
harmonies. The church is what it is.
Dude. And-
a lot
and
of people don't
siblings.
get that. They
Right.
don't. And siblings is a big thing, too. Well, my mom and all her sisters, they actually cut a record when they were children in Nashville.
Wow.
No way.
Called the Lewis Trio.
Unbelievable.
Dang, that's awesome.
My mama's maiden name is Lewis. Is where Lewis got his name
Yeah.
from.
Okay.
And they for real, and to this day, this year's it's a lot different this year and last year because they're kind of getting to some ages where they got some real health stuff and they're getting older. But
Sure.
man, my whole life consisted of every holiday, anytime the whole family got together, they were full on for an hour or two, sit around and Henry's playing piano. They would do their parts, sing every gospel song you could ever imagine. They remembered every word. They did it all the time. Well, but they would start bickering. Now, Florina, Henry
You
would stop.
supposed to hit
Florina, now listen, you're
singing the third or the
Lori,
fifth.
Why? You're flat, Lori.
Pick it up. Pay
Come
attention.
on.
Pay attention.
Judy.
Get on top of the note. Get on top
Judy,
of the
pay attention.
Yeah.
Now let's go, girls. Here we go.
The note is here. You're here. The note is
Hold on,
here,
wait. Let's go
you're
up to this.
here.
And she would go. She'd go. Well, that's too low. Okay, let's go up. And she would just go
Just
up.
transpose.
And just immediately, I'm like, that was called playing by ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, we play by her for sure.
Sang by her.
Sang by her.
It's
Yeah.
it is a family, a church. It's harmonies were just as natural to me as a melody.
When did-
I think harmonies are more natural to me than lead because Reid was always like the lead guy, and there was 4 of us and we all sang harmony when we were in church so much that we got bored and we would learn each other's parts.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
before we knew it, Reid, you take the baritone, I'll take
Right.
the alto.
Yeah.
let's do it a half step down and the lower octave. And
my daddy is still to this day in a gospel quartet.
Really? Come on.
Yeah, and he
what's the
it's
name of the quartet? What is it?
The Believers. But
It's a good one.
It's funny. They were Glory Road. And then it kinda
now
did-
we're getting in there.
But
Glory Road.
it's like the old school. They stand up and they have a little bit of like, and so Daddy sang
Bass.
Mama sang bass. Mama sang
but
too.
Daddy he sang bass because nobody else could.
Yeah.
And then, but like in this one thing, it's funny because like if I got, I told you what I got from my mama, right? Like this kind of like, believe me when I sing to you,
Right.
And then Daddy never sang until he married Mama, and then all of a sudden I'm watching Daddy and he's singing these just range but he'd sing bass because nobody else could, and he just learned how to and I'm like
People
10
love
years
the
old
bass.
learning how to do that, but yet I can, and so he could, so in his thing, so he's the bass singer, but like certain songs like the lead singer or the tenor guy couldn't actually do it, so he would just
Flip it.
like, and he would be singing tenor parts, because it just needed to be covered because they wanted to do the song, and like so he's got this range.
But you have that, dude. You have.
Yeah, listening to you, there ain't no doubt where you get it from.
I think what makes you next level, like vocalist, even in Nashville, like which is arguably the best vocalist in the world. I feel like the reason you were next level is because there's no, what was the one we were listening, the Garth Brooks song you wrote?
More than a memory.
Yeah, More Than a Memory. More Than a Memory. Monster. But that chorus, there's a gradual
it starts low.
And there's no loss of power when you're making that move. And it's, I mean, usually if you have somebody like that, there's a weak spot. There's a weak step, you know, and you can kind of hear it. Bro, you got it, dude. You got an unbelievable gift, and I know you're going to credit your family and your church to carving that out of you. But man, it's special, bro. You're special.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Honestly, it's some of it comes from, if I'm just thinking off the top of my head, it's like kind of being selfish because it just feels physically good to do that. It's like the reason I recorded Love Like Crazy was because I listened to, growing up hearing them big long notes, right? Yeah. And then like Edwin McCain, like an I'll Be, right? One of my heroes in South Carolina, right. And when I heard Love Like Crazy for the first time, I was like, okay, it's cool. It's a really great song. I just didn't know if it was quite tough enough. But then I said, you know what? Let me put a vocal on it. Yeah. Because my producer wrote it. He never pushed a song on me ever. And he didn't push this one. He said, just before I pitched this, I just want you to hear it. Only time he ever did it. I said, well, let me put a vocal on it. And when I got to that chorus, Love Like Crazy, I went, okay, man, let's go. Mm-hmm. Let's cut it. You know what I mean? And it was, to this day, I get on stage and people just,
it's a monster.
They love that song. And but that makes me physically feel good to do it. You know what I mean? It's like kind of like scratching an itch.
Yeah,
it's connecting. And I mean, as a creator, when you're able to connect with something that you're making up in your own head or your own melodies or your own words, like, bro, that's what turns us on.
That's why we do it.
Did you ever think you'd be here? Like, did you ever think you'd have hit after hit after hit of just iconic songs and be a part of a generation of music?
Yeah, thread in the fabric of country music forever.
I mean, I don't know how to say this without sounding,
Oh, we're bragging. Dude,
the truth is I was a kid and I absolutely did. Like I was man. This is what I'm going to do. And I do believe in, manifesting anything. Like say you want to be the guy and you want to go down in history and be a great, say, country singer. Like not just make it for fame. It was just, I want people to remember, I want to be one of the best. Right. Mm-hmm. Or I'm going to be a great cook one day, even if you didn't come from a family of cooks. Or I want to, it's power of positive thinking. And then obviously you got to follow that with working harder than everybody else, and sacrificing and taking risk and all that. And so, I honestly, I came to town and I was in town one day and I met Lisa Hensley, who's now Lisa Johnson, Doug's wife. Mm-hmm. She was over at a publishing company and I was staying with this girl, like she was just a friend of mine, and I came for spring break just to visit Nashville for the first time. And she goes, "Who are you?" Her roommate came in and I was just sitting on the couch, their couch playing. She goes, "Who are you?" I was like, I'm a friend of Mary Alice's. She goes, "What were you just singing?" I was like, "I just thing I wrote, And she was Autumn McIntyre, Reba's niece actually. And so she goes, "Play me another song." So I played another song. She's like, "Okay, you need to meet my boss." And so the next day I go to this building, the Roy Orbison building, and Lisa's, this lady I never met was in this little office, and she was running the publishing company, and she's like, "All right, well, Leah, it's good to meet you. Come and sit down. Play me a song." She's so positive. Just she's like my mama in Nashville. Always has been since And so I met her, and she said, "Well, so she says." I played her a couple songs, and she said, "Okay, wait." She took her phone off the hook. It's supposed to be like a 15-minute meeting. I was there for 2 hours just playing. But about after a song or two, she went, "Okay, let's stop." She's like, "All right, so who are you? Where are you from?" And then she's like, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "I want to be Garth Brooks." She's like, "Oh, like Garth Brooks?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, I think you can be." Wow. She said, "I want to introduce you to my fiance." And that night. I went to that. Remember the Best Western that was over there that had the little songwriter around right across some tin roof?
Yeah.
Now it's all gone. And I went in there, and Doug was in there, and I met him that same night. The next morning, I went, and I'd never co-written anything with anybody. I'd just always been writing since I was 10 by myself. Went in there, and he said, play me a song. And then he said, I'll play you one. He played me. He said, I wrote this last week. It was 3 Wooden Crosses. I'm like, okay, I'm going on. You know, and then I didn't know. He's like, and then he plays Skin. You know, like, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But, and that's where it all, but yeah, I did. I was like, I didn't have a backup plan. I mean, I did technically if I wanted it. Daddy wanted me to run his electrician business, and I was in college for 4 years for civil engineering, but I just knew this was what it was going to be. And I did it. I expected it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
You know,
what I
it's
mean?
crazy. It's like, we asked that question a pretty good bit in this podcast, and a lot of people say that, and they all start with, man.
Yeah, it's a common thread.
They're like, I don't know if I need to say this because I sound kind of braggy when I say it, but I always knew I was going to. Everybody says it exactly like you said. It's crazy. It's pretty nuts.
And I asked that question because I feel the same way, man. Like I knew that it was something was gonna happen,
Be a
and
part
still
of your
even
life.
even
Yeah.
in my life now, like
Yeah.
this day, looking into my future for my family and where we want to be in 10, 15 years, I see myself where I dream a little bit, you know.
Absolutely.
And I think that's good of you to say that is like put yourselves in those pictures in your head, you know,
Absolutely.
man, and let them come true. Work at them, work hard, try to make them come true, and good chance they will. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Hey, talk about your Cry. Talk about the song that's out. And
Man, Dallas.
I was about to say some just absolute trash wrote that song.
yeah, dude.
So Dallas came over to the farm, to the studio, and he was. Actually, I brought him over because I was like, hey, I want you to hear some of the stuff I'm doing on the record. I just want you to, I want to hear your opinion on, because, he's a real, like, hit factor kind of guy. Like, he's not necessarily.
Totally.
He's not an I don't dance kind of guy 99.9% of the time.
Sure.
Like,
Exactly.
to this day, he'll tell you, he's like, I never written a song like I don't dance.
Yeah.
I don't write those, you know. It's just all, that's his thing.
Wanna write
He's got
hits.
95,000 number ones.
Yeah.
But,
He's a bazillionaire.
and so as he's over there like, going through some music, and he was like, and just randomly, he said, I got a song. Me and Teddy Swims loves this thing. And I was like, what is it? And he's like, well, it's just a song, Cry, And I said, well, play it for me. We're in the studio. He said, oh, okay. And he just plays the song. I was like, and it was his demo. And, he sings.
Dude, he's an R&B
sings
guy.
He's a great singer.
You wouldn't.
Yeah, he's a killer.
Yeah, he's a vocal killer.
And I'm like, so Teddy Swims is recording it. He said, I was going to record it. And then Teddy said he wanted to record it. So he wants to do it with me. And I said, well, is he going to? He was, I think so. I said, well, why don't he do it with me? I mean, you're not an artist, Dallas.
Yeah, literally.
He's like, well, I bet he would, blah, blah. I said, well, I can tell you this. I don't care whether he or anybody else, but I will cut that song tomorrow on my own for this record, probably first single type thing.
Yeah.
Because it's just got this really throwback.
Oh, it's
your
50s
deal.
crooner.
I mean,
too,
it's
man.
legitimately
killer.
like this 50s doo-wop, which when Jared and I got together, I started building the track. I wanted to pay homage to that 50s doo-wop thing, but also put some, put some new on it and some like heavier, my kind of soul, and man, and it's crying. I mean, it releases. I mean, it's one of those
killer.
arranges, and I just love it. And I know that things kind of in Nashville, trends kind of go around, and sometimes you could be 100 miles from one of the other people, and you might write the same song or type of song, or titles even kind of start getting written. Because, people see movies and they kind of go through everybody's seeing the same world go by every day. So I'm thinking, you know what? If I've been here long enough to know this is, if somebody wrote, because they had like a 50s sort of that groove and was that in the demo. And I thought, well, somebody else has got to be doing it too. So I need this to be the first single. Because if I put this out after somebody else possibly goes and does it,
Nobody cares.
then it just doesn't look like we
Loses the
came up
shine
with
a
something
little
cool.
bit,
yeah.
But I loved it, and so we did it that way, and it's getting shipped to radio in like a week.
Nice. It's a jam, dude.
You talk about the studio, and that's one thing that like I'm impressed, by you for is that your creative process and going in and actually being, not just showing up and singing a vocal. Like you want to be ground floor, seeing the whole, like, give us a little bit of that process and where you go in
It
that.
starts for me like now because I have the studio and I have a studio. I built the studio by my own two hands, like at the farm, and I got a studio on the bus so that I could get work done out there. But like for me, it starts the second I start writing a song.
Yeah,
I start like a lot of my record has a lot of the stuff that I recorded when I was writing it on the bus or in the studio. Because I just go ahead and record an acoustic. It's just like one of them girls. The head lick, the acoustic. That was literally the first thing that came out of anybody's sound that came out that night. I didn't have an idea. I just felt like I needed to write a song that night, and I was recording. Like I had a big tracking session for my singles already picked out. The next morning, I got that. About once a year, I'll get this weird feeling at 9 or 10 at night. I'm like, I feel like writing a song. I called Dallas and Ashley, let's go. So made up. So we wrote, but we got in the room and the first thing I did was and just record it with an SM7 just like this.
Yeah.
Next morning, we got in. A couple of my co-producers, Kyle and Ben, they were like, well, we have to record this song, and they're like, why do you do this to us? I was like, I already got the tracks ready to go. Let's roll.
yeah,
Well, at the end of the day, that stayed. That riff, the actual one that I played in that. So I've got so many things that I do while I'm writing the song because I've always heard it in my head anyway. But back in the day, most people didn't write in the studio around here. You wrote in a room. You'd get a work tape on your tape deck or your phone at some point, or your computer. And you didn't really have a chance. And that's why I started bringing like electric guitars and amps and like a speaker with a drum program on my phone so that I could like
keep it going.
By that time,
way.
if you got some drums going, a groove, and then you have an electric guitar with some delay on it, it might as well kind of sound like a band. So you can kind of
vibe.
But I always hear what the song's going to be as I'm writing it. So I'll basically record it as I'm writing it, and then I might add that maybe that if I need a full band to come in or if I need to, which I always do that, and then pick and choose between the two and kind of like make it melt it together. But it's one process for me. And then getting it out on stage is the last nugget. And it's like, now I get to take this and see because it's a whole different thing when it gets on stage for me.
Yeah.
But it's all one thing. People are like, you're like songwriting the best, or you're like producing, or you're like singing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's
love it all.
one thing. It's since I was a kid. That's always been one thing.
Yeah. I just feel impressed. You brought up Kyle, man, and I don't want to, you can totally shoot this down if you want to. Our Nashville songwriting community lost a gem of a human and to a mental health battle, and he was real close to you. And like I said, man, I'm not trying to pry, and we can cut this completely out, but what encouragement can you give to people who are going through things that are just trying to see the light at the end of the tunnel? And like I said, man, I ain't looking for no clickbait. I'm not trying to. We genuinely try to help people on this podcast with some of the stuff they go through and the stress of the business and the stress of life. I mean, how could we have helped him?
This is one of those things you can never have answers to. As like,
right,
why, I had no idea. And then you go, well, maybe I should have looked a little harder. Maybe I'd have seen some things, but.
Were you guys best friends or just kind of close?
We were like soul mate brothers. And I would say the one thing I don't understand, I would say, like, if somebody's going through stuff and you're like, a lot of people, like he was like the strongest, toughest, he want to be a Navy SEAL. Like this guy was like untouchable and positive and like praying with you every chance he got.
Wow.
In the middle of Walmart, if you felt like, hey man, let's pray. I mean, just the opposite of what you would think. And so he was also stubborn, and he wasn't going to burden anybody or talk to anybody about any problems, his insides. And I would just say, if you're going through something, a lot of times you're not going to be able to do it on your own at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that's proof. Kyle's proof of that. And so I would just encourage you least confide in a friend or somebody and like actually let them know. Just voice it.
I think that
Because sometimes we're so close. We're like, man, he's cool. It's Kyle.
For sure.
He's fine.
For sure.
You know what I
Especially in like tough guy culture, right?
Yes.
Like
Dude,
bro, we deer hunting, music, singing,
shooting guns,
wrestling, and
wife
I broke
loving.
2 of Kyle's ribs. He always wanted to fight me, and he was always really little. I'm like, dude, stop trying to fight me. You get a broken bone. I broke his ankle one time, but he did it. He broke his own stuff, and we talked about his wife. Ken was so mad. You broke his ribs. I said he attacked me. He wouldn't get off me. He's just this big beast, a little beast of a man.
Yeah, he's a little bulldog guy.
But. Yeah, that tough culture growing up in.
For sure, man.
But that's the ones that aren't going to say anything. And I could be, if I was in a state like that, I can see myself being like, I'm not going to I'm good. I'm not going to talk to other people about it.
I want to say
I'll overcome it. I'll fix it.
Eventually, I'm overcome it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
But just talk about it.
I think we're in a day and age where you can talk about it, man. And it's not viewed as like a weak thing.
No.
And it's almost like
stronger to be able to go. To be able to go.
There you go.
You know what, man? I need to talk to you.
And you know what? I find myself identifying with more people like that that admit I don't have it figured all out.
Yeah.
I don't have it all figured out.
And bro, let's be honest, man. We're all, even in this industry or whatever industry it is, life in general, man.
Sure.
We all go through some of that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe to not to that extent, but like we all feel that pressure at times. We all feel that anxiety. We all have this battle that
demons that
that we're battling. And that's a great word, man. To just as hard as it is, man. Be vulnerable. Be open.
Be open to talk about it. Tell somebody something. You got to tell somebody, hey, I'm literally having these thoughts of even that far. Just vocalize. Yeah. Man, I'm having a hard time, man. I ain't sleeping at night. I feel like I'm being spiritually attacked
for sure.
And I'm scared to walk in my own house. Like, talk about this stuff with somebody so you go, okay, whoa, all right, bro, well, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
That way somebody's aware of it and they can maybe be of support with you.
Yeah.
If you got a good friend, they're gonna support you. They ain't gonna call you they're gonna be like, okay, whoa, dude, I got you. What's up?
Yeah. 1,000%, man. I mean, we're lucky. We spend so much time together and have literally shared a bedroom until 8 years ago. You know what I mean? Well, we shared a boat. But you kind of, we were lucky to kind of get to, talk about what's going on. I always had even if you didn't want to or not, you had somebody in your face. So you end up talking about it. But I think it's such a important thing to bring to light, especially, as a big old tough football beard guy that you are and that we are. It's like, man, being vulnerable and being honest and being able to communicate is so important. Yeah. Especially for the mental state.
Yeah, because there's not another human being like Kyle.
No, man.
And there won't be.
He's a pillar of the community and the town. And we still love him, you know. And we love you, man.
Well, he's still alive.
Sorry
he's still alive.
Ain't no doubt. He's still helping.
He's still alive.
For sure.
Like, his songs that are still around and
man.
The people he touched in positive ways.
Absolutely.
It's just kind of
and continue to touch.
And still.
Right. Yeah.
So
I didn't mean to get too personal on that.
Man,
I know you want to help folks where you can, and we do too, and just want to encourage folks out there to talk to somebody if you need to.
We'll I know we've kept you here a long time, but me and my guitar tour coming 2025 acoustic, headlining the Ryman on 2/18. What was your thought process on just putting a guitar with you?
I've always been the guy like. I played so many places. I never did get on like Broadway and get in the band thing and like do that stuff. But I would go play at a Mexican restaurant for 4 hours alone, or I go play at a just by myself. That's what I did. Me and my guitar. And I would sit, play a bunch of covers, and I'd play a bunch of my original stuff, and that's how I just always cut my teeth. I was by myself when I was writing songs for 10 years before I came to Nashville. And I always wanted to do it, but I never understood, like, how do I do it and it actually is cool? Like, don't sit up there for 2 hours and just sit on a stool and play guitar, like, and sing.
Yeah.
And so I went to see John Mayer in Atlanta. And obviously I'd seen kind of Garth walk around and do his thing, like, you know, in Vegas, where he's like going through this story.
Sure.
And kind of, it was more about a musical journey for him. And and it's like this thing. It's like this flowing. When I saw John Mayer, he kind of was on the stool, but then he kind of had another little space over here, and he'd go over there, and there was another guitar. And he'd go over there, and there was another. Like, he had these couple, and I thought, you know, and so I kind of honestly took those two ideas, and then made my, you know, just thought about my own story from the time I was talking about Aunt Henry teaching me, "Oh, how I love Jesus" when I was 7 and singing for the church, till right now. And I have kind of different stations on the stage, and I wanted it to be
That's cool, man.
just as worth the ticket price by myself. I wanted it to be something special, not just me sitting there, as it would be if I was there with a full band.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how it was going to go. I was scared to death. I was like, because I don't usually, but I actually
That's stepping out a little bit.
Because I've never ever like planned out any type of thought process of sort of what I'm going to say on stage or any of that. You know, Garth's so great at that, right?
Sure.
It's like he just flows, and but he doesn't. I don't think that's just off the cuff. I think he thinks about that, you know, and like has a little bit
of an outline.
You know. And so I did that. Jared Neiman actually sat down with me, and I was like, "Man, help me, like, kind of." So we sat down, we wrote out stories. This song, and then you could go and then talk about this and do this story when you met Sarah, like this, like all the way down through. And so I had this whole long thing drawn out, and then got up there, had this set, figured that out, and I didn't know how I was going to go. And I got up there the first time, and it was like 2.5 hours went by in a blink of an eye. And people were laughing, belly laughing. People were bawling their eyes out. People were, you know,
It's an experience, man.
they were, and it's, you know, just me. And normally, you know, I'm up stage, I'm going, man, you know, it's 90 minutes. Oof. Or if I was acoustic, I'm like, you know,
Sure.
I'm up there 2.5 hours alone and like gone quick. And it was the best time of my life. And I had so many people who had been a million of my concerts, full band and stuff, that were like, "This is my favorite thing we've ever seen you do by far."
Wow.
It just turned out magic, like completely magic.
Yeah, I want to come see it. Can we come see it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'd love
it's
to
something
see
I'm going to do forever.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, cool.
And like I said, it's not just a guy sitting on a stool playing at that same. I grab other guitars, I tell the stories behind them, or I'll go tell the story about, you know, my kids and just all these different stories. And I mean, honestly, I leave off, I don't play all the hits, you know. I play some covers, I play "Oh, How I Love Jesus." You know? I mean, there's
That's awesome.
my whole life. I mean, and so the only problem with it is I realized that I basically told every single thing about myself. So whenever I run out of places to play with this tour,
This is it.
I'm like, I don't have nothing else to tell you. You got it all.
I gotta
in
go
one
through some more
show.
stuff to play in 2027.
Oh man, well, dude, we love you.
Man,
Thanks for
what a
coming on.
fun day.
Thanks for
That
coming
was
on. We do one last thing at the
fun.
end of these shows, and it's your Gravorite song. So like a song that it was greatest / your favorite. We used to ask people, what's the greatest
Greatest
song?
was too heavy because it's like the greatest song of all time.
Favorite was kind of the same thing.
So it's just a blend of like a
Yeah,
cornerstone.
because that's a very difficult,
very huge question.
especially if you're like the greatest song ever.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
That's
I-
like impossible.
So I think the way we word the question is basically like, what's a cornerstone country song in your life when you think about the past 20 years? Like, what's just a song that it's not like what you've written or what you've sang. It's just what's a song you
It don't have to be country either.
Be whatever.
Well, I mean,
Please tell me you're reaching for this guitar to do it.
yeah. I mean, I could
Okay.
give you a piece of something.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just trying to think of a couple.
We totally didn't mean
I'm not
to
sure
do
if you
that.
were reaching for it, but I went there with it.
The nylon sounds good. Man.
It's a good move.
This is a good one too.
Dude, this is the first time we've ever used it in here.
Well, like a cornerstone for me, it really made me. the connection, because I told you about the connection. Right?
He's a connector. Lee's a connector, dude.
Yeah,
Even
dude.
with the 2025 tour, dude, that's connecting,
And I know we talked about it a lot, but it's that church influence, right? It's that feeling. It's
more about the communication of the song than it is the singing of the song,
1,000%.
the performing of the song.
1,000%.
And so my first big experience with that, other than church, I was like 10 or 11. I got my first like alarm clock radio, a little wooden one with
the red light, red number.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I was so excited. Yeah. Snooze.
Yeah.
But I mean, I had it in my, got my own bedroom finally. Me and
Growing
Louis
up,
had,
big boy.
we had like a, shared bathroom up top of a log cabin. We had, 2 rooms. Had my own room, had a bed. It had like a headboard with like shelves in it.
Yeah,
That was the coolest thing.
I made it.
Like a double bed.
Doing it.
Not a twin anymore.
Coming up.
And had that thing, and I remember I was laying there and I heard Garth Brooks come on the radio, and I was just like, and even through the radio, he's like a master communicator.
1,000%.
Like when you heard him sing, it didn't matter where it came from, you were just listening.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if it was a big rocking song, but everybody strives to. I got a billion, and he was a big influence on why I wanted to do this. I saw him when I was 17.
Same. We must be close to the same age because he was like major influence on my stuff. Major.
It just, I loved it because he was diverse too. Like
Sure.
At that time, he was kind of like
different.
The way,
Doing his thing.
Hank Jr.'s like, oh, this pop, this guy Garth Brooks,
Lapel Mike.
what's he doing? That ain't country. I'm like, it sounds pretty country.
I think people like it too. People kind of love it.
I remember when I learned this, if I can remember all of it, you forget the national anthem in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah, ain't no doubt. Ain't
It's
no
like,
doubt.
it sucks.
Ain't no doubt.
I'm excited already.
Looking back on the memory of the dance we shared, neath the scars above. For a moment, all the world was right. How could I have known that you'd ever say goodbye? And I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. And our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance.
You did it right then. You did it right then. That took me somewhere, dude.
Yikes.
Take you back.
Gosh, man.
Yikes. Pretty decent.
But I mean, you can't.
Singer.
A little note about that, and I've thought about this a bunch of times. So people are like, you like to write your own songs. I was like, yeah, I'd love to write every single song of mine because I love to write songs. I think I write pretty good and get the job done.
Right.
You do.
I get the job
You
done, but I also came up in the school of songwriter in Nashville, and understand that there's a billion songs out there every single day that are amazing.
Yeah.
So if you are an artist and you don't go listen to songs outside, I think you're an idiot. Because I've found some of the biggest things in my life because I listen to thousands of songs, even though it might only be one or two that make my record because they are special. I drive your truck.
Absolutely, man.
Drinking class,
Absolutely.
hard to love.
Yeah.
And I thought about it, and Garth is a great writer.
Mm-hmm.
Go look at the songs he wrote, and you're like, and he's a genius in so many ways. But he did not write Friends in Low Places. Mm-hmm. He did not write The Dance.
Tony Arata.
And if you think about it, and I'm sure he's probably thought about this. Like, who knows what his career would have been without The Dance.
Friends in Low
Or
Places.
Friends in Low Places.
Yes.
Dude.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I mean, he still might have been.
He'd have rocked.
But who knows but those songs,
different level.
Iconic.
and he was smart enough to go find them too, even though he could write them all day long. But he was smart enough to do that. And I just encourage any artist that's listening to this, don't be hard headed and think, I'm gonna write these. I'm gonna make. I just want to have the pride. If that's not pride. That's just like, to me, it's like kind of like an idiot.
Being
like,
dumb.
It's just being dumb, dude. You got Tom Douglas over here writing like, life-changing songs every single day.
Listen to them. At least
Go
spin,
listen to 'em.
At least spin them.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Well, man,
Dude.
as a lunch pail songwriter, we appreciate you saying that, because it literally is what puts butter on our biscuits.
Absolutely.
Is being able, to have artists cut outside songs, or at least listen to something and maybe be inspired and come on it with
Hey,
it.
dude,
Y'all send
you're
me
the
some songs.
you're the freaking man, dude.
Oh man,
You're the freaking man.
dude. Y'all are awesome, and I appreciate y'all stopping your duck hunt, driving all the way here just to hang out with me.
We got you, man.
And then you about to go get in your truck and drive back.
Yeah, it's
I
all
just
good,
can't believe
though.
y'all did that just for me.
Dude, for you.
Hey, come with us next year.
Oh, I would love to.
Bring some
Show me the
buddies.
dates. I'll trade you a date. You give me that date, I'll give you the date for the dove hunt.
Sounds
on.
great. Sounds great.
Let's get it.
Maybe we can write a song in there sometime,
That's right,
man. I'd
the
love
studio.
to.
You kill the doves off the back porch of the studio. Trust me.
That's my kind of stuff. Right
Hey,
there.
everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us in God's country. Y'all go check out Lee Brice's new song, Cry. Check him out on the road. You, me, and my guitar. We're going to come see that show.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't
bring it.
wait.
Please.
Thanks for hanging out in God's country. We'll check out next time.